My name is Layla Al-Rashid. 3 months ago, I was just a servant in a big palace. Nobody noticed me. I cleaned rooms, served tea, and listened to secrets. But I was supposed to act like I heard nothing and saw nothing. I grew up in a small town called Al-Kharj, south of the big city Riyadh. My family wasn't rich, but we loved God. Every day, I heard the call to prayer 5 times. My grandmother taught me verses from our holy book, the Quran, while she braided my hair. My father built buildings and my mother fixed clothes for people. When I was 19, my aunt found me a job at the royal palace. I would work for Princess Noor, the wife of a prince. The pay was good and my family was proud. Working for the royal family was a big honor. The palace was huge and beautiful. Everything was made of marble and gold. Princess Noor was kind but didn't talk to me much. I learned to bring her tea before she asked, to pick the right jewelry for her dresses, and to stay quiet all the time. I saw many things: the princess crying after phone calls, arguments with the prince, happy times with her children. But I was trained to be like a ghost. The other servants told me, "Your eyes see nothing. Your ears hear nothing. Your mouth says nothing." Everything changed when foreign women started visiting the palace. These were wives of people from other countries, diplomats, business people, and cultural workers. I had to take care of them when they stayed with us. These women were different. They laughed loudly and hugged people they just met. When they talked about God, their voices were soft and full of love, not fear. One day in March, I was putting flowers in a room when I heard Mrs. Elizabeth, a German woman, talking on the balcony. But when I looked, she was alone. She was praying, but not like I had ever seen before. She wasn't washing her hands first. She wasn't facing Mecca. She was just talking like she was speaking to a friend. She said things like, "Thank you for this beautiful day," and "Please take care of my children." It sounded so personal, like she really believed someone was listening who loved her. I found myself cleaning that room longer than I needed to, just listening. More strange things happened. One day, a British woman left a small book behind. I picked it up and saw it was called Jesus Calling. I had never heard of it before. I quickly put it back, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. Another time, an American woman was humming a song while I served her tea. The words were in English, something about amazing grace and being lost but now found. Her face looked so peaceful when she sang. Each time something like this happened, I had new questions. In Islam, I was taught that prayer was about following exact rules and saying specific words. But these women prayed like they were talking to someone who really cared about them. In August, Princess Noor was having a big charity event. I was helping set everything up when Mrs. Sarah, a woman who worked for a Christian organization, came up to me. "Layla," she said gently, "I've noticed you listening. Are you looking for something?" I was so surprised that my eyes filled with tears. I should have just smiled and walked away. Instead, I whispered, "I don't know what I'm looking for." She pulled something small out of her purse, a bookmark with words in English and Arabic. "Come to me, all you who are tired and carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest." It was signed Matthew 11 verse 28. "This isn't about giving up what you have," she said softly. "This is about finding what your heart really wants." That night, alone in my small room, I stared at those words until I had them memorized. I had never read anything from the Christian Bible before. In Saudi Arabia, even having such things could get you in big trouble. But something about those words felt like cool water when you're really thirsty. Over the next few weeks, Mrs. Sarah and I had quick, careful conversations. She never pushed me or tried to force anything. She just answered my questions with kindness and patience. Through her, I learned about Jesus. I knew he was a prophet from my Islamic teaching, but she told me Christians believe he was God's son, that he died for people's sins, and that he came back to life. She said God's love wasn't something you had to earn by being good enough, it was a gift. This was completely different from what I'd been taught. In Islam, I learned that you get to heaven by following the 5 pillars and doing good deeds. But here was a message saying that God loved me no matter what, just because of who he is, not because of what I do. In September, I started having strange dreams. In them, I would be in a dark room, pushing against a locked door, desperate to get out. Then a gentle voice would say, "The door isn't locked, my daughter. You just need to turn the handle." I would wake up with tears on my face but feeling strangely peaceful. One night in October, I couldn't sleep. All my questions and searching felt too heavy to carry alone. I got out of bed, knelt on my prayer rug, and for the first time in my life, I didn't pray in Arabic or use memorized words. I prayed from my heart. "Jesus," I whispered in the dark, "if you really are God's son, if you really died for my sins and came back to life, I believe in you. I don't understand everything, but I want to know you. I want the peace I see in those women. I want to be your daughter." The room stayed quiet, but something amazing happened inside me. It felt like chains breaking, like breathing fresh air for the first time. The fear that always came with my prayers was gone, replaced by overwhelming love and acceptance. From that night on, I was different inside, but I had to act the same on the outside. I still did my job, still went to prayers, still pretended to be the same person. But inside, I was completely changed. I read Bible verses whenever I could safely do so. Mrs. Sarah would quietly share them with me. I prayed constantly, talking to Jesus like he was right there with me. I discovered other secret Christians, a nurse at the hospital, a teacher in another city, a shopkeeper. We were scattered but connected by our shared faith and our understanding of what it cost to believe. For months, I managed to keep this secret, but in royal palaces, secrets are dangerous, and mine was getting harder to hide. In January 2024, everything fell apart quickly. I had become too comfortable, too careless. I was cleaning Princess Noor's study, reading the Bible on my phone, when I thought I was alone. I didn't hear her come back early. "Layla," her voice was quiet but sharp. "What are you reading?" I tried to close the app quickly, but it was too late. She had seen enough. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then her face changed, not angry, but sad and disappointed. "How long?" she asked. 6 months, I whispered, because lying seemed pointless. She sat down heavily. "You know what this means." I nodded. "Yes, Your Highness. I liked you, Layla. You were trustworthy and loyal. This breaks my heart." "I'm still loyal," I said, finding courage I didn't know I had. "I would never betray your secrets or hurt your family. My faith in Jesus doesn't make me your enemy." But she was already reaching for her phone. Within an hour, palace security took me to an office where 2 men from the religious police were waiting. The questions came one after another. "When did you first read Christian materials? Who gave them to you? Have you tried to convert others? Do you still consider yourself Muslim?" I answered honestly. I had been given a bookmark. I had read the Bible because I was curious, and then I believed. I had never tried to convert anyone. And no, I could no longer call myself Muslim, though I didn't hate Islam or anyone who practiced it. The trial happened 3 days later. No lawyer. No family. Just a judge, 2 witnesses, and evidence, my phone's history, Princess Noor's testimony, and my own words about my faith. When they asked if I would give up my Christian beliefs, I said quietly but clearly, I cannot deny Jesus Christ. He is my Lord and Savior. The sentence came quickly: death by public execution for leaving Islam and betraying the trust of the royal household. I wasn't surprised. Saudi law is clear about what happens when someone leaves Islam, especially someone in a trusted position. But hearing those words still made me feel cold inside. They let me make one phone call. I called my mother. Mama, I said, trying to keep my voice steady, I want you to know I love you. Layla? Where are you? What's wrong? I'm in trouble, Mama. Big trouble. I need you to know that I'm not afraid, and I haven't hurt anyone. What kind of trouble? I can get your father. No, Mama. Just remember that I love our family. And remember that I've found peace. I could hear her starting to cry. Layla, you're scaring me. What have you done? I found Jesus, Mama. And he found me. There was a long silence before she whispered, Oh, my daughter. What have you done? I've found the truth, Mama. And it's more beautiful than I ever imagined. She hung up. I never talked to my family again. As I sit in this prison cell, writing these words by the small light coming through my window, I want the world to know, I am not a victim. I am not trying to get attention. I am simply a woman who found love so amazing, truth so real, that I could not turn away from it, even knowing what it would cost. I think about Jesus, dying on a cross for crimes he didn't do, forgiving the people who killed him. If he could face death because he loved all people, surely I can face death because I love him. To my family, if you ever read this, I am sorry for the pain my choice has caused you. But I am not sorry for the choice itself. I have found peace that I can't fully explain, and even here in this dark place, I am filled with light. To Princess Noor, thank you for being kind to me. I pray you will understand someday that my faith was never about betraying you. It was about finding the God who loves us both more than we can imagine. To my secret Christian brothers and sisters throughout Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, be strong, be wise, be faithful. We are not alone, even when we feel most alone. The God who cares about tiny birds cares about us too, and He is with us in our secret prayers and quiet suffering. And to anyone reading this who wonders if Jesus is real, if His love is true, if He can change a heart so much that someone would die rather than deny Him, He is. He can. And He will if you ask Him to. My name is Layla Al-Rashid. I was a maid in a royal palace, invisible to most of the world. But Jesus saw me, called me by name, and made me His daughter. And tomorrow, when I face my executioners, I will stand as a daughter of the King of Kings. That is enough. More than enough. This story is dedicated to believers around the world who worship in secret, who face persecution for their faith, and who choose love over fear, truth over comfort, and eternity over temporary safety. May their courage inspire us all.